I said if this defense can stay healthy on the outside with Dante and J.C. Horn, it'll be a top 5 unit. Or maybe I said top 7. Because maybe I was trying to be humble. And I know how they overreact. And they be thinking that we biased. So cool. Already, Dante Jackson is hurt. Now, he got hurt during the game. Drive number 1.
I ain't even see the bitch get hurt.
I saw him get hurt. I saw him get hurt. And then they came on and reported. The girl came on, and the woman came on and reported, talking about they took him in the tent, messing with his ankle and all of that. Okay, cool. Listen to me.
Hold on, before you go further. On that play he got hurt, did his man catch the ball?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, he did. But it's a problem. It's an issue already. And then that forced our hand to go make a move and go sign Troy Hill. This team will not be successful. And I hate to say this, but, we got to talk about it. This team will not be successful if our cornerbacks cannot stay healthy. We've seen it time and time again. When J.C. Horn got injured 2 seasons ago, our defense went to shit. When J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson got hurt last season, our defense got exposed by Tom Brady. So one of 2 things need to happen to me. Dante Jackson needs to get his shit together, or we need to bring in about 3 or 4 more vet guys, because I know there's a couple names that are still out there that know how to play the position. Bring 3 or 4 guys in for a workout and tell Dante Jackson, step in here real quick.
I think that's the only option.
Step in here real quick. We appreciate your service and we appreciate everything you've done for the city and for the organization, but it's time for us to move on. And if y'all know how I feel about Dante Jackson from a personal standpoint, like Tavian will swear I love the nigga. Okay, cool. I love Dante Jackson. At some point, you got to look at a liability like a liability. And for us time and time again to continue to plan around having this guy available, knowing that he's our quarterback too, knowing that he has the ability and the speed to cover the opposing team's fastest wide receiver, knowing he has the ability to play the position well enough to edge Keith Taylor and CJ Henderson out. Is his name Keith Taylor?
Yeah.
That's right? Okay, cool. Because I know I'll be calling him Frank all the time. I don't be doing it on purpose, but it just happened. It's a problem. It's another issue, bro. And unfortunately, I'm not feeling as good about the season this week, as good about it as I was last week. I'll be honest. Because now we have this injury. We go get Troy Hill. But I've been seeing a lot of reports saying that C.J. Henderson, should Dante Jackson not be able to go, C.J. Henderson would be the starting quarterback on the opposite side of J.C. Horn. That doesn't do my heart any good.
Frank Wright called him Mr. Consistency. That's what he said. That's what he said.
So then I would challenge the organization to drug test Frank Reich.
If we're going
Mr. Consistency where?
If we're going based off of, the preseason, he hasn't looked bad. I will say that.
He hasn't looked bad. He's looked very solid.
Do I want him as my starting corner? No, I don't. But, is he the best option right now that we have if Dante Jackson is hurt? Yes. And if we have to ride out with him, I just got to support that he going to hold his shit down on the other side. And just pray JC don't get hurt. Because I think Dante Jackson was injured.
we know that JC at some point is going to get hurt too.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it like that, but, that's just the reality. In this episode today, I'm just in here keeping it 100.
Yeah.
I'm not in here trying to give our fan base no false hope, not trying to keep no optimism. Let's just have a real conversation. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, when Dante was hurt majority of last year, and when he went down and JC was still on the field, our defense was never really the problem. The offense couldn't put up points because we had Baker Mayfield. and PJ Walker. And so, I'm not, obviously, I think it takes our team to a whole different level if we have Dante and JC. But do I think our offense is better than it was last year? Yes. I think we have more weapons. I think we have a better quarterback. I think we have a better receiving core, one can argue. But, I'm not okay with it, but I can bear it if Dante is out for a significant time and we have to roll with CJ. If JC is up to par and he's healthy.
I would love for CJ Henderson to be what everybody gasses him up to be.
Yeah.
If you look at these, if you look at these Facebook fan bases, these Facebook fan pages, it's really befuddling the amount of delusion that goes into the support of CJ Henderson. Honestly.
They loved him at training camp, too.
They love him everywhere. And I'll be honest, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know why.
I think he's just a cool person, honestly. I think it's
being a cool person don't win you fucking football games.
I think it's less about his play and more about his personality when it comes to the fan base. But
I'm here to tell you, CJ Henderson, I don't care about your personality.
Well, going off of that, I would say JJ might love Dante Jackson. With all due respect, I don't give a damn about him. Because I've been telling this nigga this for the past 2 years. The nigga can't stay healthy. He got a fucking ego problem. Because every time he gets burnt or something happens, he's fucking hurt. So I'm surprised that ain't the reason he hurt now. And so happened it ends up being a long injury. But it starts off with a fucking ego thing. And so, so I've been telling them it's probably time that we move on from Dante Jackson. The best player is the most available player. And unfortunately, he's never available. So, the defense will look a lot better with Dante and JC on the field. But, at this point, we just got to have our minds together that we're going forward throughout the season without Dante. Hopefully it's not a long-term injury, but we do know that some point during the season he's going to get hurt again, and it's going to lead us back to the same spot. So we need to go ahead and address the elephant in the room. If we don't get rid of him now, it's no place for you in Charlotte next year, unless you want to be on the coaching staff, because you don't need to be a fucking player here next year. With all due respect, comparing you to all the NFL corners, all the other corners on our team, I need to rock with the one that's most available, and you're not. So pack your shit, and we can find somebody else.
Well, they found somebody else. They went and got Troy Hill. We can pull his stats up real quick. I want to say 8 or 9 year veteran, excuse me, if I'm not mistaken. Started his career out with Cincinnati, then went to L.A., played 5 seasons with L.A., then left, went to Cleveland, played with L.A. again. Has been relatively consistent in his production, I guess you could say. Not really a guy that's going to force a lot of turnovers, with his career high being 3 on the season, coming in 2020, which was overall his best year. 77 tackles, 22 assisted, 3 interceptions. So, it's a solid option. It's a solid option. I've seen him play on numerous occasions. I think his technique is solid. I think that, he's not a guy that you're going to throw out there on Tyreek or CD. He's not that. But you might be comfortable with him covering Michael Gallup. That's the type caliber guy I see him to be. And we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say on the guy. Congratulations, you got you a job, but you got to fucking show me. Because, if you can only get me 3 picks, then the bar is already pretty low with me. Because we already got motherfuckers back there who can't catch. So, ain't no use to adding somebody else to the group. So, moral of the story, you got to show me. But, we got him, and then we still got Bro from the Titans, I guess. So, I guess a lot of those players.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's good as clipped.
Yeah, but I guess a lot of those players have to step up a lot sooner than we expected.
Also, Eric Rowe, I don't know what's going on with you, brother, But that should be a name that Carolina Panthers fan base looks to be cut within the next couple weeks. He's no good.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, simple as that. He's no good. I mean, just that. No explanation needed. Turn on the film. I don't know what he's done good all preseason. I seen him get a couple of tackles, but in coverage, dog shit. Who else? Who else am I cutting this week? Because I was on a rant last week with a whole bunch of people that was on the hot seat. It's a whole lot of y'all on the hot seat, bro. And it's not just from a number standpoint either. It's from a production standpoint. Because I was really, 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 really tuned in this week because I felt like last week I was just happy that Panthers football was back. But I seen a lot of guys losing a lot of fucking reps. A lot of guys losing a lot of reps.
I would say on that starting defense, too, because ain't no reason Darren Waller and Daniel Jones should be looking like fucking...
Well, that was on your boy.
Tom Brady and Gronk.
Well, that was on your boy.
Who?
JC. First three damn plays of the game. Slant route, slant route, slant route.
I mean, shit.
8 yards, 12 yards, 15 yards, 17 yards.
Well, something got to be done.
Something got to be done. Get up on him and put your damn hands on the nigga. Yeah. And stop backing 6-7 yards off. I thought that technique would be gone out the window with Uncle Steve.
Well, Uncle Steve must ain't do shit, so.
It's a lot of, I mean, if you can't tell, the tonality on the podcast today is not the best.